Okay, Mr. Warden here. Been a little while since we've had something a little bit interesting. We're moving. We're picking up and moving across the country. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of there's a lot of emotions wrapped up in that. There's a lot of new learnings wrapped up in that. There's a lot of heartbreaks wrapped up in that. I got to get rid of a lot of stuff, and that's its own special kind of heartbreak, I suppose. What you're about to see is me getting rid of some projects, and that's a big emotional topic for me. It's one of these things that I would prefer never to have to give away any projects. I'd prefer never to have to get rid of any projects. I'd prefer never to have to throw anything away. I'd prefer never to have to give up on a project. But space is limited at the new place. Space is limited, so we can't have an arcade machine, and we can't have a funky table that looks like it's made of coral art piece, and we can't have a CNC router. There are tools that we have to get rid of, and we have to get rid of the van. Is going. We have to get rid of the arcade machine. We have to get rid of the table, tools. All that has to go. And I've been putting things off about making a video because the video is hard to make. And we're about to see what you're about to see what happens when I see what happens next. Here's my arcade machine. One of many projects that we have to now find a way what to do with, or we have to figure out what to do with. My plan, I think, is to cut off this side panel about right here and all this part. And I'm going to save this part with the name and with these messages from my students, and then the rest will go in the trash, which is deeply unfortunate, but it's the way it's got to be. We just don't have the room. So that is the part I will keep. I wanted to go through and talk about some of the projects that I'm taking with me. Some of these things are projects, some of them are keepsakes. For example, the Pokemon and the Game Boy are keepsakes. The Food Fight game is going with me. Food Fight is a board game that I made that involves that broke, the book broke, or the box broke. But there are all these ingredients, breadcrumbs and cantaloupes and carrots, and you make recipes and put stuff together. We have the castanets project, which are regular traditional flamenco castanets. I have a pair of them that I've made. This is my storage unit. It contains many items, many interesting things. My couple of Macintoshes, those are cool. We're gonna keep those. My table, which I made a whole video about how to build, it's probably going to go in the trash. This is probably the thing that I want to talk about most. This is these legs are supposed to look like they're made out of coral, and what this table is meant to represent is it's supposed to be something that you might find in Captain Nemo's cabin on the Nautilus in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's what this is supposed to be. But this is probably going to go in the I don't really have room for this. I don't really have any way to transport this. It's already falling apart. It's going to go. Speaking of the arcade machine, here's the controls for the arcade machine. I want to explain something that I've been kind of thinking about a lot lately. And that is, like, what do you do with projects? What do you do with projects when they're done? And I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my students. What I tell my students is that you've got basically 4 choices. It can go in the trash, it can go in storage, it can go on display, or it can be dismantled and put back, and all the pieces put back into supplies to be used for later projects. What I'm finding right now with my projects is that there's not a good way for me to dismantle them. I've been putting them in the trash. I've been putting my projects in the trash mostly. The arcade machine, the Nemo's Cabin table, the bunch of different tools and bunch of different parts and pieces. The van, obviously. We'll get to that here momentarily in the video. But those are kind of the choices, and it's really disheartening to make something and then have to find out what to do with it unless you have space to put it in display or put it in storage. So yeah, that's kind of what this video is about. I should say also 5 ways to get rid of projects. You can give them to somebody who wants them. I haven't found a lot of people who want my projects, but maybe your projects are small enough or convenient enough to give to somebody else. If it's something like an arcade machine or a car, you have to have a really special relationship to be able to give that to somebody else. Yeah. But five ways to get rid of projects. Give it to somebody, dismantle it, throw it in the trash. Oh, my fingernails. Throw it in the trash. Store it, or put it on display. And the thing that I'm struggling with is not having to get rid of projects. It's, why did I make them? Why did I make stuff? Why do I make stuff? If I ultimately have to get rid of them, if I ultimately have to throw them away, if ultimately they're just ephemeral and they go away forever, why did I make them? And I don't have a good answer. I don't have a good answer for that. Maybe you do. I mean, the obvious answer is the learning that went along with it, right? All the learning that went into that project is something that you get to keep. I mean, that's something that goes with you. And that's good. And that's good. And I just need to remember that. And I need to hold on to that. And the videos I make, the videos I've made in the past about projects, like the Nemo's Cabin project, there's a whole video about me making that table. And that will live forever. Well, until YouTube collapses. That will live forever. And that is a testament to the learning that went along with that project. So that's good. Things are getting down to the wire here in the move department. As you can see, these shelves that are normally behind me are gone. I posted the van on Facebook Marketplace. We'll see what happens next. So long.